Hi, this is Kat Wills, and this is my CI 149 final reflection video. I've really enjoyed taking this class. It's been a great learning experience for me as far as learning how to, plan lessons and deal with students and learn classroom management skills. And I've really just appreciated the way that it's been organized and laid out. I've appreciated having to do these video assignments, which I've never had to deal with before, and I know there's something I'm going to be using in my teaching career as a tool that's very useful for students, so it's good for me to start now, and this class has certainly allowed me to do that. The Zoom meetings as well, I feel like that's a great way to meet your peers, especially in online classes. I feel like you never really connect as a class, and so that really allowed us to. So I've really enjoyed this class, and I feel like I've learned a lot from it. I think as far as changing my thinking about teaching, it's just informed me and reinforced really my knowledge of how much preparation and organization goes into planning for even just a daily lesson with students. I feel like teachers, have to spend their entire career gearing themselves toward their students and serving their students and, trying to adapt to the needs of them, and making sure that their learning experience is the best that it can possibly be. And I feel like I knew that it would be a lot of work in order to be able to do that, but I didn't realize just how much time it actually takes to sit down and plan out activities that will work and make sure everybody's accounted for and everybody's needs are considered. So as far as changing my thinking about teaching, it's reinforced my belief that I really have to work hard in this profession. But I know what I signed up for, so I'm excited with all of these techniques that we've learned as well. So as far as my major takeaways, I come from a performance-based high school, Lindsay High School, and so it was really cool to learn about backwards design because I was actually on a team of students who did a lot of presenting about that kind of thing. Back in high school, we didn't call it exactly backwards design, but that method was really incorporated a lot into the classrooms at that high school, and so it was interesting to get to talk about this technique that I'd seen, in most of my high school classes, and I could help prove it was successful because of that, and so I thought that was really, really cool. Another major takeaway was just I feel like everybody plans differently, and I thought it was so cool to get to see everybody's work in the classroom. All of my classmates and their lesson plans and their video assignments as well. Everybody was so different, and of course our subjects are different as well, but just the way that we designed them and the way that they were laid out, the way that we presented them in the video. I thought it was really interesting to get to see just the way that differed depending on the person and on the subject as well. I'm really excited about learning more about what to do with students who are facing the language barrier, especially ones who are just emerging and they're just beginning to learn English. Just because I don't speak another language myself. My high school was primarily Hispanic, and so most people, they were either bilingual or they spoke only Spanish, and so I did get to see a lot of the ways that my teachers dealt with that in the classroom, but a lot of them also weren't exactly the most successful. These students, were often left behind, or they'd just be paired up with like an English-speaking student, and the teacher would never have anything to do with them. And so there were some, of course, that did well with and then of course also some students who learned and were able to pick it up somehow, and so I just really want to learn more about that so that I know how to deal with it in my own classroom. And of course that's something I feel like you learn continually as you go on and continue your career in teaching. So that's one thing I really am excited to learn more about. I also am excited to learn just more about dealing with like behavioral issues in a positive way that's not going to hurt the student or the classroom or anybody. And that's simply because when I taught at the charter school, it was a little bit difficult to deal with behavioral issues just because I'd never had before, and so I felt like I did a decent job, and most of my kids, they didn't act up too much, and they were okay as far as the general behavior of the classroom. But that's something that's very important, and when I'm in a real classroom setting where I'm like teaching them regularly rather than just the couple class a day for this charter school, I really want to have that under my belt so that I can manage my classroom well. I know what's going on. I know who needs what, and yeah, I feel like those are the two biggest things that I'm really excited about learning more about is learning how to deal better with the language barrier, and also just how to deal with classroom management stuff. So I feel like those are both really big topics and ones that I'll continue to learn about throughout my teaching career and the rest of my college career. But I've definitely gotten a great start with them in this class. I have really enjoyed it, like I said, and yeah, it's been great. So thank you for having me, and it's been a pleasure being your student. Thank you.